was great. It was amazing. I loved it. It's one of my favorite drinks there.
Really? I had there's a boba place that I tried a chai matcha,
Hmm.
which I thought was going to be disgusting. It's a weird flavor combination. It was actually pretty good.
It's two very rich flavors.
Right. I didn't know how it was going to work. But as long as you put the boba in there, it pretty much works no matter what the flavor is for me.
No.
I second what Trina said.
You do like Trina, you like the tiger tea though. That's an interesting blend of the Thai tea and the milk tea.
Yeah, but they're not super strong flavors. I don't know what is it? It's the chai tea, and what else makes it tiger?
The milk tea.
Milk tea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The chai tea is, I don't know. Milk tea is unusually light, so it's not too strong flavors. It doesn't taste like it. It's just sweet.
Depends on where you go. Today I just had a lovely green tea flavored with passion fruit and some boba and lychee jelly.
Yeah, you're too,
Everything
experimental with
Comic-Con today, though.
your boba.
Hey guys, we're here. We're live. Thanks for joining us. They were talking about boba or something while we were getting the chat going, but we are live now. We can see you if you're watching. Chat with us in the chat room. I'm Chelsea, as I have been all week, and with me, as always, all week, Kristen. And I have to stop pointing because when this actually goes on video, it's not where I'm pointing because the Zoom's not lining up. So Kristen and Peter and Trina are all here. Hi, everyone. And today was our final day of Comic-Con at home, which, thank God. A negative way, but I am definitely exhausted. I'm feeling that Comic-Con exhaustion that we normally have, not to the same degree, but I'm definitely burnt out. And normally for our final podcast, if we'd been at Comic-Con, we would do it when we got back home to LA. So that's why I'm not in LA anymore. I'm home in Bag End where us hobbits belong. And Peter says he's not seeing it live on the YouTube. Well, we'll see if we can get that fixed, but shows that online. Anyway, Kristen, what did you get into today?
Today, well, I tried to wrap everything up in the exhibit hall. So I finished S through Z of the exhibit hall booths. I also caught a bunch of panels. So I figured I give some recommendations out for those of you. One thing about Comic-Con at home is you can watch the panels at any time. So if you're interested in something warm-hearted, check out the Goldbergs panel. That was really just hit me right here today. If you want to learn something really interesting, I would check out the Masters of the Illustrated Film Poster panel, which is something I don't know that much about, but the panel was so well curated. It had people that had been in the industry forever, and it had people who were new, the hot shots. And so the discussions were really good. It got into the history, it got into the contemporary issues of illustration for film posters. So even if you don't know anything about it, it's a good one to check out. If you want something just to be entertained.
Kristen, I hate to stop you, but we've got somebody at the door knocking in here. I was and I'm getting all ready. I put my Amazon virtual con badge on. Does anyone have a guess who might actually be here right now, guys? This is shocking. I'm beside myself. What a special guest to have joining us right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's Kevin Bigley. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Welcome to our Team High Voltage Comic-Con at Home chat. How are you, Kevin?
I'm great. I'm good. I'm at home, locked away safely. But yeah, I'm bummed that I didn't get to go to Comic-Con this year. That would have been. I've never been, and I've always wanted.
Oh, well, maybe. The Upload did get a second season, so maybe with the next season, you guys will be brought back next year.
Yep. That seems to be kind of what they do. So hopefully, yeah, we get to go. I mean, it's always been, something I've wanted to experience, but seems like a fun thing. I'm assuming you guys have done this before, right?
3 of us have been several times. Peter, this was his first experience, but he's done it all virtually now at home. So it's not quite the experience, but
Right. Yeah, I know. I feel like I missed out. We were supposed to do South by Southwest. They had a bunch of really
Oh,
cool. I know. We had like a weird VR thing that they were gonna do. They were gonna have a bunch of like guys dressed like Owen Daniels, like the AI dude, just like running around on the streets and stuff. So we were pumped
nice.
for it. So hopefully they still have all that stuff, so we can do it.
Gotta
next.
use it at some point. I mean, at least Amazon did send us all these like virtual con badges. So,
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
we got some sort of swag like we were there in some way. And there was
I
that
know.
upload experience on the virtual con where they put your face into that video, which was very awkwardly done.
Awesome. I know, weird. It's so strange. They gave us like Lakeview shirts that they're just
awesome. I want one.
they're rolling out all that stuff, so it's all happening. So
Nice. I have to say that during quarantine, Upload is amongst my top 5 shows that have been released in 2020.
very nice.
It's
Awesome.
phenomenal. Like, and it was, I'm not one to binge watch a show. I couldn't stop watching it. I was so happy the whole season was there because it's like more.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, I thought when, the whole thing was hitting as far as like the pandemic, I was like, well, I kept getting emails from people like that had a link to it prior, like in March and April. And usually it was like agents and assistants of agents and being like, this has been really helpful. Like, awesome. Like, so, because it's just an easy watch, I think. So, there's a lot of different things and a lot of different storylines that you can grab onto, that if you depending on where you gravitate toward, and what you like in a show, it's definitely has a lot of it. That was Greg's intention. So
Now, if you were to upload yourself, Kevin, what in-app purchase, if you will, do you think you would be buying most often?
I don't know. We definitely talked a lot as a cast about it, because I think I think like right when I read the pilot, I told Greg, I was like, I really hope that college kids get stoned and talk about this show. Like it has that. It posits a lot of really weird, strange, fun questions. But I think I'd pay for like the ability to get like feel spice, like a little bit of heat. Like I would want chicken wings or something. I would want to be able to, like, there's just these little things that that I feel like you miss out on, that deprive you of being human, that are the things that you don't even quite think about. Like,
I didn't even think about the fact that you're eating but not tasting it.
right. Or you're only getting certain flavor profiles. Like in the finale, I think Luke says that like for a while we've only had salty and sweet, like
That's right. It was part of the new like upgrade for the
right.
PLS, yeah.
Umami and stuff. Yeah, I think I would do, like, I would want to experience heat, or like, can you even get drunk there? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, can you get like a certain kind of drunk, or is whiskey drunk or beer?
Get the trashed in-app purchase.
Yes, yeah. If you can pay for a cold, you could certainly pay to get like really shit faced and then pay for it to go.
I want the blackout package, please.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Nice. I think for me, I would abuse sparkling water as my in-app purchase constantly. I need all of the sparkling water. It would just be a fridge of every.
No, every time you do this, it appears in your hand. It's just
right. Yeah. I'm sure LaCroix has some kind of package with Verizon where it's
right. That's exactly what I think too.
I'd want to upload some sort of live music experience. Like, it's not worth going there if there is not music.
Right. And like, I know that Lakeview, and that kind of, it seems to be that there's some in this universe, there's some sort of there's legal reasons why people in the afterlife can't take jobs away from the living. But I wonder if artists can still create music, or writers can still write books and whatnot. Like, I wonder what the creative contribution rules are in that world.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Or that makes me wonder, has Andy Allo ever sung on the show?
No, but Greg loves her music, and I've been trying. I play guitar, and I've been trying to pair up with her just because I want to like kind of sponge.
Wall behind you.
I want to get some of her Prince knowledge. I mean, good God, like.
Right? Kristen, you were commenting that you remember seeing her in a small club out here in LA several years ago.
Many years ago. And I remember I think it was, we went down to Fullerton to see her, the Slide Bar. Trini, you were there. She was fro, and she,
oh yeah,
rocking
Yeah,
it.
she rocked the fro for a while. It was awesome. And she used to perform with big full band and everything. Yeah, good funk guitar
I
player.
know I saw her at Bootleg in the past couple of years.
Oh, nice.
So.
Yeah.
Well, so Kevin, we have something that we love doing with our special guest, and we have a 60-second game. Are you down to play?
Yes, very.
Awesome. All right. So, Kristen, you're going to time it.
Yeah.
I've got the questions. Basically, you have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. If you don't know an answer or you want to skip it, that's fine. Just say skip.
Okay. Sounds
Are
good.
you ready?
I am.
All right. Here we go. Favorite Ninja Turtle?
It used to be Mikey as a kid. It's definitely Donatello.
Question you get asked the most?
Who's the biggest prankster on set? There is none.
Chocolate or vanilla?
I'm gonna go chocolate.
Is it soda, pop, or Coke?
It's Coke, but soda pop is way cooler.
What favorite theme park?
Oh, I'm such a basic bitch. Disneyland.
X-Men or Avengers?
I would go Avengers, honestly.
Your go-to dance move?
Oh, like a two-step, like just kind of a rocking thing. Yeah.
Roller coaster or bumper cars?
Roller coaster. Bumper cars are overrated.
What technology could you not live without?
My phone. I'm just addicted to it.
Song that always puts you in a good mood?
Anything by Ty Segall. So heavy rock.
I Love Lucy or The Andy Griffith Show?
Oh, I would go I Love Lucy.
Pancakes or waffles?
Oh, pancakes are bullshit. I'm going waffles.
What's something you'd put in a time capsule?
And time.
Hitting the hard
It
question.
triggered it. I saw this tweet going around about in 1992, Nickelodeon put like a kid's like time capsule or something, and it was just full of bullshit. It was just like, it was like I forget. It was like some New Kids on the Block CD was in there or something. It was like
Probably
really
a Game
bad.
Boy.
Yes, a Game Boy was in there for sure. Like the Nikes, or not Nikes, whoever the Reebok pumps were in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that takes me back.
So I would just put Nickelodeon's time capsule in a time capsule.
With like no reference whatsoever.
Yeah, none.
Like, what are all these things?
It was weird. It was like pop culture stuff, and then there was weirdly like some stuff that was actually pretty good, like a phone book, and you're like, that's actually not too bad. Like to put into a time capsule. But
Well, so have you actually gotten to watch any of the Comic-Con at Home stuff? Have you watched any panels or chopped the?
yeah, I watched one for the one on Fox, because I used to do a show with Mike Mosley, and he's on it. So yeah, and then I saw all the boys stuff. I love that world.
Super excited for that next season.
Yeah, and I know I worked with Aya Cash, who plays Stormfront on this new season as a new member of the Seven. So that show is just so fucked up, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy good time on that show.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Just gonna pull this up so if people want to follow you on Instagram. Here's Kevin's Instagram handle. And
there's the Shark Hamster.
Yes.
Yes, we actually, a friend of ours got a little entry in here. This is Marky's contribution.
Oh, nice.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm so glad we could make that like magic moment happen for you too.
Oh, it was awesome. I've always wanted like some kind of weird fan art, and just trying to spitball during an interview. I kept comparing Luke to animals, and to weirdly antithetical animals, predator and prey, land and sea. So they made that come true. So that was really cool.
Dreams do come true at Comic-Con. So thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes, Kevin. It's so wonderful to meet you, and like we can't wait for the next season of Upload.
Yeah, man, me too. Thanks for having me and everything. And yeah, like I hope everyone stays safe and washes their hands and is healthy.
Wears the mask and all the good
The
stuff.
whole nine. The whole
Yeah.
nine.
All of it. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
for stopping by.
All right. That was awesome, guys.
That was pretty great.
It was so fun to have Kevin in there for a minute. I saw that it was like, Kevin's waiting to join. I was like, oh, wow, hello. That was fun though.
I really liked doing our 60 seconds. That was enjoyable.
But yes, definitely that's a big part of Comic-Con for us, is us interviewing every artist under the sun with our 60 seconds. And like it's a big part of what's missing from this year, that energy, you know? So you were talking about some other panels and stuff that you got into today, Kristen.
Oh yeah, well actually Kevin brought up the one for Next, which I also saw, which is a show on Fox. And it's funny because I compared it to Upload. It's a very different show in tone and theme, but there's one thing that is the same in both shows, and that is someone is killed, or we don't know if they're killed in Next, but someone gets in a car accident because their self-driving or automated car starts taking over and ends up. So that's, I wrote that down, that was actually a theme I saw for a lot of the newer shows this year. The idea that both technology kills and that AI is the future. Like those are two themes I think that we're going to see a lot more of in television and probably movies. But definitely it came up in Comic-Con a few times. On Next was a big one, but also the show The Capture was all about how technology can lead you to potentially wrongfully incriminate someone.
And The Capture is the new one from Peacock?
The Capture, yeah. And then the show, what was the other one that I saw? Don't Look Deeper, which is about AI, hopefully not about AI killing, but about like what it means to have this AI and questioning the humanity of someone who might be more AI than human. And then Brave New World, which I actually saw the first 2 episodes of last night after telling y'all I was going to. And that show, again, about how technology can really lead to kind of the end of society as we know it, and can lead to a questioning of what is humanity. So I think these are really interesting questions that we're going to continue to explore in the sort of sci-fi fantasy realm of TV and movies. So I thought that was fun.
It is fun. I didn't get into too much stuff today. I really, the big panel I was looking forward to was the conversation with Nathan Fillion, which it's always great to see Nathan. It was great to see Alan Tudyk and a bunch of other special guests. Josh Whedon was there, but that panel was so weird. It was so strange. Instead of just being like, here's a chat and here are my friends, or even bringing them in one at a time or whatever, it was like multiple different conversations cut with no sort of synergy or theme to glue them together. And it just was jumping all over the board, and I couldn't follow what was happening half the time. And like, it was a very weird choice.
Yeah, I feel that some of these panels are really learning to adapt to this virtual environment. Some of them are really don't care at all, and some of them are really struggling. And that's one I think they attempted something new, but it didn't land.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I would rather appreciate. I prefer the panel trying to do something new and not it landing than just. One of the comparisons I made with Chelsea was like, this looks like something a 5th grader did, like a PowerPoint that they were supposed to do, like they had 2 weeks to do, but they did it either last night or the day before, or even the morning of. And I was like, this is not how it should be done.
Yeah, the illustrators panel I saw today actually really did something cool, and that anytime they talked about a piece of artwork, they were able to put it on the screen in post, so you could see it, which is something they wouldn't have necessarily been able to do live. Yeah. So they use this format and to make it better and more interesting, and I appreciated that.
I popped into a lot of little pieces of things today. I was like, and I have to say that like, while the Christmas in July panel wasn't very entertaining, they did more with the use of technology than I had seen anybody else did. Like they made a fun little collage video celebrating Christmas in July in their homes during quarantine, and someone's baking cookies and someone was putting ornaments on the tree and stuff. And I was like, see more of that stuff. Like, where was that kind of energy? I actually expected a lot of these panels to end up having more people talking about their lives and like the quarantine, or maybe making a fake scene from a show shot at home, kind of thing. But like, none of that happened. That was
fun.
Kristen, somebody saying, on a topic of AI, Life 3.0 is an awesome book that talks about how AI will evolve and change us. Is that something you've read, or is that a book? Or?
It's not something I read, but it's interesting because there's a lot of literature out there. And the next panel actually opened with a quote from Elon Musk, something about how AI is going to be like the end of us all or something like that.
I kind of think so. I'm excited for AI, but I've seen Terminator. Spoiler alert, we get wiped out.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I'm just kind of like amazed that more people didn't take use of what they could have used in technology to make these panels better. But then the technology that they had, they were like, oh, well, we're not live. We have the ability to edit. I feel like editing was overused by everyone, and not to enhance the panels, but it took like the magic, it took the personality out of these panels. And that was really disappointing. Before we like get into like a bigger conversation about like what worked and what didn't though at Comic-Con, because it is the last day and that is a big part of what we're talking about. Anybody, Peter, Trina, did you guys watch anything today? Did you watch anything from days before even that you watched today that you want to talk about?
Well, unfortunately, on the vein of panels not really working, I watched the Psychology of Wakanda panel, and that was just kind of dry as toast. Unfortunately, I mean, the people had some interesting things to say, but I couldn't get through the entire panel. It had at least, I'm going to say at least 7 panelists plus the host, and it was just so static and blocky the way he did it. It should have been better. I wish I could have gotten through it. It was just too static, too blocky. And some of the graphics or whatever they used looked like that 12-year-old learning how to use PowerPoint or something.
Right.
That's unfortunate. So, but other than that, the Looney Tunes one was fun. That didn't suck.
The Looney Tunes one was fun, and they even showed us a Daffy Porky Pig cartoon in the middle of that. That was entertaining.
Yeah. So, who's a Looney Tunes fan?
I think all of us are.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
What's your favorite Looney Tunes character, everyone?
Ooh. I'm on the spot. Wile E. Coyote.
Mine's a tie between Wile E. Coyote and Marvin the Martian.
Interesting. Kristen?
I don't know. I have to admit I haven't watched any Looney Tunes in like 20, maybe 25 years. But I loved them as a kid, but Bugs Bunny was my favorite as a kid for sure.
I would go with Bugs too. I have to. He's just, he's classic. Yeah. But watching the panel and seeing all the voice actors who are doing all the new voices, it just reminded me of how cool voiceover work can be, because you'd never know, because you never see who the person is. You just hear the voice, and if it clicks, it clicks. If it works, it works. And the guy who voices Bugs and Daffy is an Asian guy. Who knew?
Wow.
And he's a younger guy, and he's newer to voiceover too, which like breaking into the VO group is really hard to do, but breaking into the VO animation group is even harder to do. And like for him to come in as basically this unknown and voice these two iconic characters is huge.
Big shoes to
Star
fill.
of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Big shoes to fill.
Absolutely. And it was great to see that Candy Milo is in there as Granny as well. Candy's had an incredible voiceover career. She has done every animation under the sun. And she even like one of her very first cartoons, well, like one of the first ones was Darkwing Duck, but shortly after that, she did Tiny Toons. I was like, so from Tiny Toons to now playing Granny for Looney Tunes, I was like, it's a nice little full circle for her.
It's nice you said that doing the new Looney Tunes is like the pinnacle of her career. Of all the stuff that she's done, this is like it for her. It's like
Looney Tunes. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't think you told us your favorite character.
Oh, Bugs. Easy.
Bugs.
Come on, he's snarky, he's sarcastic. Come on.
Nice. And we've got a vote in the chat room for Daffy Duck. Somebody thinks Daffy's a beast.
Oh, fine.
I think I was always annoyed by Daffy.
Yeah, I have to agree. Duck Dodgers was pretty awesome though.
Just like in the clip, they showed us an unaired clip, and it was Daffy and Porky in a scene, and Daffy was just freaking annoying. He was just total annoying Daffy Duck. I'm like, God, no wonder Bugs Bunny beats the shit out of you all the time. You deserve it.
You know,
that's why I was never a fan of Daffy. He always irritated me.
Well,
somebody in the chat room asked if there was anything about Avatar, and before I answer that question, are we talking Avatar Last Airbender, or are we talking Avatar James Cameron? Let me know. But Peter, you and me, we both watched a tabletop panel today that was actually kind of fascinating.
by Ross again.
Yeah, by Ross, who popped in and jumped in our live a couple days ago. But it was the tabletop industry due to the pandemic And what I got out of it, which I don't know if you found the same things, was that there are actually some positives I hadn't even thought about happening to them. Like the fact that they're able to meet with more people virtually now than they were ever able to really come across at these conventions and stuff. And they're meeting new, greener designers, but like with endless potential. And like that was kind of really cool.
What I got out of it was that there's some really great things and innovations happening. There are some setbacks. The designers are kind of having a field day because they can work behind a computer. They can, send emails to each other. They can do that stuff. But stores are the my cat. No, today of all days.
Oh my God, we got a special guest introducing Peter's cat.
Yay! Hello. He's like, no, now I don't want to be on the camera. Fine. Stores are the ones getting hit the hardest. A lot of people are buying from Amazon, and your local game store is either hard to get into, closed, or there's just big limitations, whether them getting deliveries or anything like that. So the actual purchasing of board games is kind of like getting hit hard, but development looks like it's better, is what I got. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like that's kind of
definitely feels like it's getting better. It was really, especially if you care about board games at all, it's a great panel to go back and watch. I was like, if you don't care about board games at all, you're going to be bored out of your mind. Yeah. I was like, but for us, it was quite entertaining. Kristen, you finished getting through the exhibit hall today.
I did, yes.
Oh, you finished? Congratulations.
I finished. I went from S all the way to Z today.
Nice.
And I sent you pictures of my top selections of the day, or things I was most excited to stumble upon.
Indeed. What would you like to talk about?
Well, one of them was art. So I think I've seen this booth before, but this artist, Scott W. Smith, does art with words. Mm-hmm. So it takes things that are good, like good literature. Like the one I saw today was a beautiful Peter Pan piece. So you take, words from the book and you put it into art. And I thought that one was really well done.
That one was actually really cool. For some reason, it will not let me bring that one up. It's giving me an error, but I can show the other one. I was like, but definitely, it was really cool.
That's the other thing I found today. Of course, my love of boba. I found this wonderful Love Boba tote from the Little Red House booth.
It's really cute.
It's really adorable. Mm-hmm. And that's totally you. I can see you like walking to Ralph's to get groceries with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. Well,
my favorite finds.
Well, then I pose a question to all of you. We've now gone through 5 days of Comic-Con at home. What worked? What didn't work? And what was missing? And this goes to everybody in the chat room too. If any of you guys have been watching all week, what worked? What didn't work? What was missing? I'll tell you for me personally, I'll kick it off. I miss the people. And I was like, and it's not just like friends and my con friends, it's random strangers, it's cosplayers I'm not even gonna talk to, like I miss the actors, the publicists, like everything, the volunteers. And like, they had so many opportunities to connect us virtually and they didn't do it. Why were the YouTube comments disabled on the videos?
Oh, thank you. Yes.
I was like, and like, I watched a panel today that they were like, hey, leave a comment below. We want to know your answer to this question. And I was like,
how?
And they never ended up giving their Instagrams or their social media of any kind. So there was no way to get a hold of these panelists. I was like, well done. Right. I was like, why were there no Zoom meetups? They could have arranged for like a Marvel meetup, a Game of Thrones meetup, a DC meetup, where like the first 100 people to RSVP, or maybe it was a lottery system of people got to dress up in cosplay and join this meetup and talk with fans for an hour, because meetups would have actually happened at the con. Why didn't any fans arrange that? Like if Comic-Con wasn't going to do it, like that's shocking to me. Why was Scener only for movies and not for the panels? Like why, like I don't need to watch a Marvel marathon on Scener. I've been watching Marvel marathons in my apartment since March when we went into quarantine. You know, I was just like, I want to watch these panels with people. So like the only way to do it was really Twitter. And like no one was using the hashtag. I couldn't find anybody on Twitter outside the Star Trek panel. It was all journalists and studios and exhibitors and like, but not just people chatting about what they were excited about. So I miss the people.
It's really interesting that the comment you were talking about, the comments being disabled. That's the first thing I noticed when I was doing panels. You know, no Q. You can't do Q&As. You can't do like, hey, well, you guys didn't talk about this. Can you give this quick answer? And I think it was I think it's because Comic-Con as a whole posted these videos that were submitted by all these panels, and they would have had to answer those questions. That's what my guess is why they did that. But then again, I think about how Adult Swim Con happened. They did it on Twitch, and it was easy for the fans to talk to their to whoever they were talking to. They had a moderator trying to pick out the top questions, and they only did like 3 or 4, so not all the questions got answered, but at least there was more interactivity than what this YouTube was.
And the fans can talk to one another in those formats too.
Yes.
You don't have to be talking to the
Yeah.
panel.
Right.
And another thing Kristen and I at least talked about is they could have made it so that you still signed up for panels and they had a lottery draw where people got to be part of the Zoom. They could have had like an upgraded Zoom where it was like 500 or 1,000 people. And those people could have been on a webinar where you didn't see the other fans, but you all knew you were there. And you could ask questions. And then there'd be a chance that your question would get picked. And the people hosting it could turn on the video for the person's question that they want. So then fans could jump in and be there with like, that was such a simple thing. And
Missed opportunity.
And they still could have recorded that Zoom and edited what they wanted to and then put it on YouTube later. That could have been something that happened 2 weeks ago if they wanted, you know, or they could have just made it live. And like, I realized they couldn't have done that with every panel because they can't be live on 20 topics at the same time. But like the Hall H panels could have been done that way. You know, like there was so many missed opportunities for us to share a moment together.
Can we also talk about the screenings, of which there were none, but there could have been? That could have been a lottery system as well. You get a code, you get to log into this website, and you get to watch the pilot episode months in advance, which is one of my favorite things about Comic-Con. That seems like something that could have happened.
Absolutely. Guys, we've got another knock on the door here. Let's see who's here. All the special guests today, guys. Oh my God, it's Roy Wood Jr. Roy's in the house. Old buddy of mine. A fun fact, I worked on Sullivan and Son with Roy years ago.
Oh, he's not, no audio.
His audio is connecting. It says connecting. There he is.
Yo, what up?
Hey.
How are you, Roy? It's been
Sorry about that. I have a child that will be.
That's all good. That's life in quarantine. We all have things.
Well,
Peter's
yeah,
cat
there
crashed
is
a
no
second
such
ago.
thing as a private space, such as life, though.
Exactly. How are you, sir? I haven't seen you since Brothers.
Oh my God, it's been forever. It's been fine. There's days where like quarantine, you want to like fight strangers, and then there's days where like what, this shit is all right. I think I could deal with not being around people.
Yep. I can completely relate to that in every. We noticed, Roy, that you were on a Marvel HQ panel. You read a great little Marvel story out. I was like,
yes.
Have you been to Comic-Con before, or like was this your chance to be to Comic-Con?
That was it sucked. It was cool, but it wasn't, because like that was like the one opportunity to get like an in to do something. I'm putting them on headphones. I can talk and do two things at the same time. But then they go, oh yeah, it's gotta be, we need you to do it in front of a camera, and sorry about that. And I was like, all right, this is still foot in the door. I'll take it.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never gone to Comic-Con, primarily because it's the type of event where, how can I put it? As a comedian, if there's something that's already happening there, I would rather be figuring out a way to get paid to be there, which means I need to get booked at the local comedy clubs.
Yeah.
I've never been in with the clubs there in San Diego. I've done them here and there, but more often than not, the comedy clubs don't book out of town acts for when they're competing against the local conventions. You just book locals because it's cheaper and it makes way more sense, for your bottom line. So no, I've never gone. It's on my hit list.
You know what I'm really surprised about is that I feel like Space Force would have been a great show to have been included in Comic-Con. And like Netflix didn't even have a panel.
Let me tell you something about Steve Carrell. So Steve Carrell would do, this is how he would do a take in Space Force. I forgive me if this gets back to him and I'm speaking out of turn or something crazy. But I can look at a sheet of paper, right? I can look at a script and I could see one joke, maybe two on a page. Steve Carrell will perform it and you'll see the two jokes. And director you'll cut, and then Steve will basically go, all right, now this one, y'all let me do my shit. And he would find 3 and 4 other jokes. So the challenge, if you go back and you watch Space Force, just in any scene with Steve Carell, watch the other actors' faces. And when Steve does something crazy, and it's very micro, but if you know what to look for, you'll see it. Steve will do something, and then you'll just see some micro facial movement.
Somebody trying not to react big.
Suppressing laughs. That's all it is. It's just half of acting with Steve Carell is just trying not to laugh.
That's awesome. I like to hear that. That's the kind of stuff that I love in comedy.
You in any class whatsoever is how not to screw up a take. Stupid ass. There's no class for that. But yeah, Space Force was fun. I wanted to get, if I ever got to go to Comic-Con, I like the panels, man. I'm not a cosplay guy. My physique has changed so much that I'm just I don't even know what size. The problem with superhero shit is that the sizes, you don't know if you bought the right size. It's not like Nike t-shirts where you know what it is. You can ballpark it. I might be a medium Wolverine, but I'm probably a large Bane or maybe a double XL. I don't know. So I would love to go. What size Avenger am I? Should I go as Drax or maybe Star-Lord? I don't know. I could wear a leather jacket and cover up. I don't know. I've always loved Comic-Con. It's the one regret is that I picked baseball cards over comic books growing up because I couldn't afford both. I loved both, but I couldn't afford both. And I'm 41. So all of the baseball cards that I collected back in the glory days, all of them steroids, worth nothing. If I'd have been buying comic books during that same time, do you understand how much better of a life I'm eating pizza. That's my meal tonight. Frozen pizza.
You know what though? That pizza still sounds great though. I eat pizza on a regular basis.
I mean, to be fair, Chicago deep dish is frozen and it is very delicious. But,
Chicago deep dish though, you're speaking my language.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I hate that I missed out. I really do. But it was cool to be a part of just, something in some regard, but safety first. The irony is that Comic-Con is the one place you probably could have still had some people get together and shit because everybody's in a damn mask.
And nobody's gonna complain about it either.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I didn't even think about that. That's such a good.
You canceled it for nothing.
Yeah, it's all right.
People are wearing Deadpool masks and whatnot, Spider-Man, whatnot.
All you had to do for Comic-Con was list the characters you couldn't dress as, and it's just all the bottom open mouth people.
All right. So we could have invited a lot of dark helmets and Darth Vaders and stormtroopers.
Yeah. And no Wolverine, no Batman, unless you go with the Batman Ben Affleck, Batman versus Superman full
right,
the full joint. otherwise, like, I don't know. I just think it was a disrespect. You shouldn't have canceled. It was a big mistake.
We're definitely missing it, and I hope you get to go in a future year. But Roy, we have something fun we like to do with our guests. If you're game, we have a 60-second game. Are you down to play?
I'm ready. Right. Fire away.
So you're gonna have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. If you don't know an answer or don't want to answer, just say skip. Right?
Oh, I don't play them skip games. I answer these shit.
All right. Well, then you just answer.
No secrets around here. Okay.
All right. Kristen, are you ready?
Ready.
Ready.
All right. Here we go. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Trek.
Favorite TV show as a kid?
Oh, God. The A-Team. There's errors. You got to do that by decade, but we'll just go A-Team across the board.
Newspaper or magazine?
Newspaper.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Who's your favorite Avenger?
It's hokey to say Iron Man, but I like him.
It's not.
It is.
First
It's like
movie
being a
you ever
Yankees
saw.
fan.
First movie you ever saw?
Airplane.
Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan?
Jackie Chan.
Who's your favorite Muppet?
Oh, I didn't like the Muppets. They gave me nightmares. Fuck them all.
Otters or penguins?
Otters.
What are you afraid of?
Muppets, Fraggle Rock, Gremlins, anything that came along with the night terrors I used to have as a kid. Respect to Jim Henson and the imagination and opening up kids' lives, but I did not fuck with the Muppets. Maybe Muppet Babies? Maybe?
Muppet Babies, maybe? Okay. The
That was animated and they
the
were
newer
babies.
Muppet Babies terrifies me. The new animation style, the older Muppet Babies, I'm okay with.
Yeah, I'm talking 90s Muppet Babies. Like
Yeah.
if Muppet Baby Demons showed up in my night terrors, I could take them. I would fight those.
You would
But-
fight them.
Bro, I had severe sleep paralysis as a child, and the vivid hallucinations I used to get from those goddamn furry Muppets.
Oh.
I'm straight.
I'll tell you, Jim Henson and Labyrinth, the fur creatures there that like take their heads off, those things terrify me.
Oh no, I had nightmares when I first saw that movie.
Yeah.
No,
It
like
was
I
not-
was so scared. I was so scared of the Muppets that Critters was a comedy when I finally saw Critters.
Damn.
Like that was nothing. Like that didn't even scare me. I'm like, this is hilarious. It's a ball of teeth eating people. I'm with it.
Thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes. It was so good to see you again.
I feel like I overshared. I'm just gonna be honest.
Okay. Well, I
feel
think
like I
you shared
overshared.
just enough.
Fine. This is
No, it
just
was
3 to 5
perfect.
of us.
Yeah, it's not like people
Cool.
are watching right now.
Listen,
so
what happens at
you know we're
Comic-Con
live.
stays at Comic-Con, you know?
No, it's too late. It's already on the internet. Somebody's just typing up a I Hate Jim Henson blog right now. It's not that I respect the man. It's just I don't know. Those things scared me. They had the frayed hairs, and it just I don't know.
Well, you're
Newsflash,
absolutely allowed your opinion, and I hope one day maybe
Sesame Street too. Yo, it's all the same
Thank
fun,
God.
bro. I didn't
Big
fuck
Bird.
with none of it. You gotta understand. Like I learned counting from watching 3, 2, 1 Contact and Square One. I did Nickelodeon. I watched Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon was a little less educational back in the day, but they had some counting and shit. There was a few things you could watch during the day. Them fur Muppets, nah, dog.
Well, I'm so sorry to leave you on such a scary memory.
Ventriloquism. I opened for Jeff Dunham one time and just like stayed in the showroom. Didn't even go in the green room because he had the dummies in the green room and they were all sitting in
Dunham's
seats.
dummies, though. Oh my God.
Respect to Jeff Dunham, but I just couldn't be back there with Walter and Jalapeno. I don't know.
Jose Jalapeno on a steak.
On a
It was too
steak.
much. It was too much. It was too much for a young comedian from the South to take.
All right. We love you so much. And we will see you again soon.
Respect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Oh my God. Someone
I
else.
was like jiggling the entire time. I'm just like this the whole time.
He was hilarious.
Every word he said.
Look at this Cliff's here from the OneRing.net, guys.
Cliff with no audio again.
No audio.
It's connecting. It'll be here in a second. this is actually perfect because Cliff can actually talk with us about the likes and dislikes of Comic-Con. He's what he misses. He's a perfect candidate for that as well. As soon as his audio connects. But yeah, so we were talking about, we miss the people. I really love what Roy said about like, it's probably the one place where everyone's already wearing a mask and like, Cliff, how are you doing? Oh, the audio is still trying to connect again.
There's the audio. That
There
works.
you are.
there you go.
I hear you now.
What's up, Cliff? Long time no see.
Well, hello there. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
Hello, it's lovely to see you. I actually was doing what anybody would do out on a Comic-Con weekend when they couldn't really go. They decided to come out and support their local retailer. I'm here at Emerald Nights, and I just picked up all of my comic books that were in my pull box. I got all my DC Vertigo books, including The Dreaming, the Eisner nominated The Dreaming. I pre-ordered a copy of the Colleen Doran and Neil Gaiman spectacular Eisner winner, where they redo Snow White, and it's called Snow, Glass, Apples. I'm sure you've seen the work of it online.
No,
And,
I haven't seen any of that.
Really? Oh my God, it's the most extraordinary artwork. Oh my God, I'm gonna send you an image that Colleen tweeted earlier today. Stunning. But yeah, I'm here supporting my mom and pop retail comic book store. And I just, had to renew my annual membership and pick up all my books. There's so much anticipation. And believe it or not, they're open, like some retailers in some areas are open for curbside pickup in the back, and you can conveniently stay in your car and the staff will bring you your stuff, or you can pay for it online before they do that, or they even have regular shopping available during limited hours of the day. It's really lovely. So
nice.
Hello Emerald Knights. I just wanted to say hi to everybody on Comic-Con Sunday while I was here picking up my books. They're in my backpack now.
Well, we're sitting here talking about what worked for Comic-Con at home, what didn't work, and what we miss about everything. And we've said that we really miss the people, the random friends, and like the energy in the rooms. And we're really upset that Comic-Con didn't find a way for people to actually chat with one another. They even disabled the YouTube comments on videos. Did you watch?
They did.
Did you watch much this week, Cliff?
Yes. I took a look at some of these really intriguing panels, and I thought I was immediately dismayed. I wouldn't say the word disappointed. That's not strong enough of a word. I would say dismayed that they disabled the comments, because that really didn't do the purpose of having it be virtual to let people interact with any of it at all. I mean, it's not as if the people who had submitted their panels would be able to talk back and interact, but the thing was quite silly that they did that. And the one thing that I missed most of all was the feeling that I feel right now, a backpack full of new comic books. That's what I feel. That's what I miss most of all, is being able to physically hold it.
That I took it for granted, carrying all of the stuff around Comic-Con. I actually was missing having that experience of walking between rooms with all of my stuff and like.
Yeah, I know. I don't mean to sound. I mean, I don't want to sound like Ariel trying to collect a bunch of stuff in her grotto and say, I want more. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to say is, it's not materialistic. It's the sensation of, I went to a Comic-Con and now I possess wonderful artwork and storytelling in these comic books that I'd never had before. I've got them now. That's a thing I really can't emphasize as gold. It's gold. I love that feeling.
Yeah, and especially like in terms of buying stuff and walking away with the tangible of like having that at Comic-Con Sunday, especially, is the day that we would have the sales on the floor because people don't want to take their stock back with them. They don't want to ship it back home. I miss today having all the Sunday sales because no one's going to have a clearance on their website because they're like, this is our website. It's our permanent inventory.
So true. I get some of my best back issues and graphic novels on those desperate last-minute sales in the last 20 minutes when they're trying to say, I don't want this anymore. You buy it, you know?
$1. What? Okay. Like, it's never
Definitely.
really $1, guys, but
Well,
it feels like it.
It allows me to get more interesting comics for some of my friends who might not otherwise, you know, get such a treat, like some old weird Doctor Strange collections or some stuff that Matt Wagner did for some independent comic book company long time ago before Dark Horse. I'm talking like Kamiko, the little Canadian imprint that helped him put Grendel out in the marketplace. Yeah, you know, you can find so many old gems that can introduce people to a new readership because they wouldn't realize that you could just get the best sales at the end of the weekend. I love it. I love that.
Totally.
Yeah.
What do you miss the most, or what didn't work for you this week, or what worked for you this week?
Are you there, Peter?
I usually just like
Oh,
walking
yeah.
around.
Did you ask me a question, Cliff? I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Trina, go ahead.
I'm so sorry.
No, I miss walking around the gas lamp area. I always like the gas lamp area. I miss seeing cosplay, even though I don't do cosplay myself. I mean, it's just visual eye candy. And especially since they changed it in the last couple of years where only people with badges could get into the convention center. It was just easier and breezier. And it made it easier for cosplayers to move around. And I don't know, I just miss the cosplay and the gas lamp and the previews. Like me and Kristen, we always usually had a good preview or two. Remember that year we previewed Lucifer, Kristen?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember that too. The music was like iconic. We were like, Cage the Elephants and Lucifer. Like, what's going on here? And speaking of that kind of discovery, the activations always had a lot of discovery for me too. Like that year, Kristen, that you and me ziplined through Gotham, and right as we got on the zip line, it started to rain, and it really just felt like gloomy Gotham, and it was really cool. And that was for the brand new series Gotham we knew nothing about, and it made it more thrilling for me, and I couldn't wait to check out the show. Or last year's boys activation Escape Room, I had to know how that related to the show afterwards. Like I was completely sold after that.
I still think the Legion activation that I did that one year was the best, most interactive, immersive experience for a show.
Yeah, I was like, but so in terms of discovery though, do any of you guys feel like you've discovered something at this Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Well, I know Kristen did. Of course she did. She always did.
Kristen still found something. Kristen, what's your big discovery? What are you excited about?
I mean, like I said, I discovered that Quibi show that I probably wouldn't have even blinked at before that I'm now excited about. I discovered the artwork that I've been sharing with you guys throughout the week.
But specifically TV and film, because that's usually I walk away with like 5 shows I've got to watch. Like, so you had the Quibi show.
Yeah, the Quibi show. And like I said, I watched Brave New World. When I saw the panel, I watched the first 2 episodes last night. So I discovered that. There probably wasn't as much in the way of discovery this year, but you know, you find the stuff.
You still felt like it was sort of there in some way. I will tell you, the only thing that worked for me, I mean, it's not the only thing, but the best thing that worked for me was the Funko line, because this is the first year I got a Funko exclusive. So like,
Congratulations. For discovery for me, coming from somebody, you know, I've been talking all week about this is my first time experiencing SDC in any form. So I have no point of reference. But I did have some discoveries, definitely this week. But you know, I did see the Crossing Swords, but that's something you told me about already. You
it's
said,
okay.
Peter,
It
check
took
it out.
Comic-Con for you to get excited about it.
It did, and
Comic-Con's about.
I thought the panel was very fun, and it did make me want to go watch the show. I haven't had time to do it because of this stuff, but you can bet that tomorrow I'm definitely starting that. Antlers, again, was a movie that I already knew about. I knew Guillermo del Toro was making a new film. I knew what it was sort of about, but after watching the featurette, I'm like, yes, this is definitely something that I'm watching. Lovecraft Country. I briefly saw a few things on that. Didn't even know it was a thing. I think I heard some stuff, So that's the biggest discovery. And now that I have HBO Max, it's really exciting to know that I have the platform that this show is coming on. So
yeah, HBO Max has a lot of great programming coming down the line. I'm really excited for that platform in general.
I got some good discoveries.
And
Yeah.
Cliff, I think the OneRing.net panel, did you guys have some exciting news?
Well, we had recorded that a couple of weeks ago, actually, and yes, we had this beautiful conversation with well-known Tolkien scholar John Garth, who has published a new book about all the physical places in our real world that have inspired the written word of Tolkien's Legendarium. And we speculated what kind of places where Amazon Studios is going to be filming. And the big news is that New Zealand is completely COVID free. They are now actively in production, running all their cameras, all their people back to work, dressing up as elves, dwarves, and 7,000-year-old powerful elven ladies named Galadriel. And for all we know, we don't know whether there's going to be Gil-galad. We don't know whether Celebrimbor, blah, 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 because we don't know where exactly within the Second Age we're going to be. But we know for sure, we definitely know that they're filming. And rumor has it, said Adele suddenly, that Mr. Avatar James Cameron is also filming aggressively back in production because they have the ability to prove there are no new infections, there are no new cases.
James Cameron's upset right now is because they've been actively filming Avatar for about a month now. They've been returned, and they delayed the release of Avatar from next year. And he was like, "Why?" Like, like he did a whole thing that was on Deadline the other day. Of like,
oh,
yeah, he was really upset.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, I'm honestly really upset that a filmmaker of his caliber is not taking on other stories and other things, because we've done Pandora. We're done. I don't know why we're going back to Pandora, so whatever. That's just me. Oops.
I'm there with you. I'm not a big fan of the Avatar franchise. I don't get why we're getting 4 more movies, but like maybe the second one will make more sense to me. I don't know.
I honestly get far more energized when there's a conversation about The Last Airbender. That's the Avatar I'm going to talk about.
Which somebody in the chat room earlier asked if there was anything new for Avatar. So Netflix announced that they are making a Legend of Korra, and there was a ton of Avatar merchandise that dropped this week. I was like, so especially go to Box Lunch if you haven't seen it. They have a lot of it, but there's all sorts of like artwork that other places put out too. So that there is some Airbender stuff out there for people. But Cliff,
it is terrific. It's really exciting. So exciting that Netflix is taking on Last Airbender and taking on Neil Gaiman's The Sandman, which also had a massive release on Audible, which is blowing up the charts on Audible like you wouldn't believe.
It features Taron Egerton as one of the voices in that audiobook. So thank you, my boy. Cliff, thank you so much for popping in and saying hi. It's lovely to see you.
It's lovely to see you too. Welcome to nature out here on Chandler Boulevard in the Valley. It's lovely. I'll see you guys very soon. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
You too. Thank you for stopping by, Cliff.
Great to see you again. Bye.
Oh, we've got so many friends today, guys. That actually felt like Comic-Con for a minute there. Like
that's pretty nice. Yeah, I like that.
Interviews, like old friends. That was good. Well, any other last thoughts on Comic-Con before we give everyone a little preview of what's to come next in the nerd world?
I do want to mention something that I missed but kind of got a little bit of today, which was my Supernatural Sunday that I was talking about yesterday. There was one somewhat Supernatural relevant panel, and that was Supernatural Therapy, which I thought was really interesting. The panel actually started straying away from the show Supernatural very quickly into just general therapy and what to do during this pandemic, which I thought was interesting, and how, you know, these TV shows and comic books and movies can help us in this pandemic, and how the characters within these shows that we all love can help be inspirations to us during these times. And so that was interesting and relevant. But there was an actress from the show, Ruth Connell was on the panel.
Oh, there you go.
And so that made me happy because she's been involved in the Supernatural press rooms in the past. So she's lovely.
Still none of the boys, really?
I know.
I was looking for like a surprise announcement from them or something today, you know?
Something that would have been nice. But there was also one of the things I love about the Supernatural group, the people I see every year around that show. And one of those people I see every year was actually on the panel this year.
Nice.
So I still got to see her. So
well, there you go. Well, so you got a little bit of Comic-Con magic as well.
Yes. So I wanted to end on that kind of up note.
That's awesome. I love all of that. So a couple of things to look forward to or keep the Comic-Con spirit alive, guys. Let's share this screen right here. One, the annual Comic-Con blood drive, which Trina can tell you all about. She usually does this every year, has turned into a virtual thing where you have between now and August 16th to participate to receive that limited edition Black Widow shirt that you see right here in the corner. I was like, and additionally, all donors are also gonna get a free antibody screening for COVID-19. So that's exciting if that's of interest to you guys. But you can go to this website on comiccon.org. You click that link for the San Diego Blood Bank for donate. You'll put in your zip code. It's gonna show you what is like a donation center that's closest to you. It doesn't guarantee there's going to be one in your area, but this is the way if you want to do it to participate. But Trina, do you want to talk about what that's like a little bit? You've done it in the past.
The Comic-Con donation setup is really, really well done, really well run, always well staffed. I can't say how well staffed it'll be now, considering the situation. But you go in, it usually does not take very long. You get your hematocrit or hemoglobin tested. So if you're going to do it, make sure you've had a steak or something the day before or a good breakfast. Get that iron count up. You go in, do your stick, get tested, do your blood, get your t-shirt, get some snacks, and you're out. Usually it's fun.
Life, most importantly.
Yeah. They insist that you sit down and eat the snacks provided. Drink extra water. Oh, also always drink water before you give blood. You need to do that too.
Lots of water, like not a sip of water, guys. Drink lots of water. It helps your veins. Even if you have veins like me where they can't find them, it'll help them show up better too, the more water you drink.
And at the end of the day, you feel like a better person and you have a cool t-shirt. The end.
There you go. Another cool thing coming up for nerds if donating blood is not your thing. Night at the Drive-In. This is a series that is curated by Michael B. Jordan. That is Killmonger from Black Panther himself. He's also in Just Mercy and a ton of other amazing films. Incredible actor, great guy. So every other week on Wednesday night through the end of the summer, so the end of August right now is where it's going through. They're showing 2 movies at a drive-in near you. Dallas, Orlando, LA, Vegas, like Baltimore. So come to the site, a night at the drive-in.com. Put in your zip code, find a film near you. You can see what's coming up soon. I know quite a few of us are going on Wednesday. I was like, so I signed up. I'm going to go see Hook. I don't know. What did you guys, I think you chose Hook too, Peter?
I sure did. It was a really good split between Into the Spider-Verse or Hook. And it was like, oh man, which one am I going to do? But I mean, Hook, when are you going to see it again on the big screen? This is a perfect opportunity.
Totally. And Kristen, did you also choose Hook or are you going Spider-Verse?
I chose Hook.
All right. Team Hook. Woo! Hook 'em horns. Wait, wrong Hook. Hook. Keys are Hook. Anyway, yeah.
Where's the Hook?
Got it. But besides that, if you don't feel like venturing out to a drive-in or there's not a drive-in close to you, next week is Gen Con Online. This is the San Diego Comic-Con for gaming. This is where all of the new games for the next year are announced. There's new releases and exclusives that will be dropping on their exhibit hall, which none of us really talked about the nightmare that the exhibit hall is. We did on Wednesday, but like the San Diego Comic-Con exhibit hall was a joke, guys. It was an absolute joke. I was like, but they're gonna have right here, this game store one-click shop, and all of their games on July 30th will be right here in this store, available through like August 9th, I think it is. Yeah, and additionally, you can sign up, get a free badge. I was like, with your badge, you can sign up for hundreds of thousands of events. If you don't want to participate there, you can do live streaming through Twitch. There's stuff on Discord, Board Game Geeks involved. This is another free event, guys, just like San Diego Comic-Con. So if you're looking for something else during this quarantine time, Gen Con Online starts on Thursday.
Several funny things about that. I was like, I'm so done with conventions. I said, no more content, no more stuff. And then you're like, oh, by the way, Gen Con's just around the corner. And I've never been able to experience Gen Con because it's so far away. But now they're bringing it to you, and it looks like it's going to be way more interactive than what we had for Comic-Con. And it's really funny. I didn't find anything to buy for this Comic-Con. When it comes to nerdy stuff, sometimes it's like I gotta be there and look at the stuff before I buy it. So I had no motivation to buy anything from Comic-Con, but I think a lot of my money's gonna go to Gen Con.
Awesome. I have a bad feeling that there will be lots of tempting board games next week myself. I wanted to mention for that drive-in, it is free. So you sign up, the movie is free. They give you a concession box that is with free concessions, and there's a drink. There's also food trucks that are usually present. I'm not sure. I know the box for sure happens at every location around the country. The food trucks might be a Los Angeles thing, but it's all free. And all of the snacks that you're being given are from Black and Brown owned businesses. So it's also going to show you where you can support and spend your money during this time if you end up liking any of the drinks or snacks that are in there. Like I actually was really surprised. In our box last time, there were cookies that were free of the top 8 allergens, which means I could actually eat the cookies. And that never happens. Like, that was really exciting to learn about. So it's a really cool series that Michael B. Jordan is doing with Amazon Studios, which, yeah, that's it, guys. It's 5 days of Comic-Con, 6 days of live streaming. Anybody, let's all go around, not starting with me. Kristen, we're going to start with you. And everyone say your number one highlight that happened this week. The thing that's especially like when I said that, something had to have come to your mind. What was that something that came to your mind? Kristen, go.
The first thing that actually came to my mind was doing these live streams with you guys.
Oh,
no, because it's one of, as you're all saying, one of the best parts of Comic-Con is interacting with your fellow nerds and getting to talk about things. And I also haven't talked to many people, period, in the last few months. So having this sort of nightly check-in has been kind of lovely. So honestly, that might be it.
Peter, that's you.
She stole it. Why did you let Kristen go first? Damn. No, absolutely. I can't tell you how grateful I am to you, Chelsea, to you, Kristen, and you, Trina, to have me here. This is the first time I've been a part of your Comic-Con crew. I have heard every year that you guys have done this, all the stories from you, Chelsea, of like what you guys have experienced. And I think this is a different story. I mean, it's definitely when everything goes back to normal. The hope is there. I'm bringing that energy out there. This is a story that will be like, yeah, Peter, remember when we had to do a live? We had to stream live for Comic-Con?
And I had a conversation the other night that we really like how this format rolled out, to the point that I was like, I wish we had a live streaming suite at Comic-Con, like all Sci-Fi and IGN and all of them did, where people just came and talked to us throughout the day. I was like, that would be an amazing goal. I very much enjoyed this format as well. Mm-hmm. But did you have a highlight besides that, Peter? Or that was really your highlight of the week?
Like I said, I don't think I experienced Comic-Con to the fullest that I could have. Like I said, Crossing Swords was awesome. Antlers was awesome. The panels were awesome. Exhibit hall, very underwhelming for me. But watching the panels that were focused on the things that I enjoyed, and if I missed it, I was able to watch it because it was posted on YouTube. So I didn't miss anything that I really wanted to see. So that was good.
All right, Trina, your number one highlight of Comic-Con at home, go.
Well, because this was an unusual Comic-Con for me, haven't been able to participate in much because it's been a weird week. Um, Being able to rewatch stuff, that's a good thing. That's a good point. So, but of course, the easiest of the things that I did get to watch, the easiest highlight was watching Keanu just goof out and just be just living in his little bubble of joy. Just
In the Constantine panel.
he was just ridiculously joyful. I mean, the world does not deserve that man.
Well,
We
my
don't.
number one highlight out of everything.
I know what she's gonna do.
Amazon, you won.
Oh yeah, Amazon.
Virtual Con, you freaking won. I was like, your panels were really well done. I loved the upload panel. I loved the boys panel. You know, I was like, the Hannah escape room. That thing was so much fun. I wish more people had thought to do a virtual escape room like that. There could have been so many things with that. The upload experience, frustrating to get a photo that works with the video, but still you put thought into it and it worked, and it works for upload the show as well. I was like, the fact that we're all getting boys swag for free, they're mailing swag out. Thank you, Amazon. Like this is the company that brought the most Comic-Con to us that you could possibly do. And
they always do.
What?
Always do.
Yeah, it's true. And then additionally, and Kristen, you've talked about this, they had live discussions and panels on their virtual con that actually had that they could see that they were pulling questions from to talk to like their talent. Like they figured out the way to connect everything.
It's a totally different feel from the other panels in a good way.
Which on that note, you know, shout out to Adult Swim Con as well. They had their own virtual con as well. And like I said, they did it on Twitch. And I think Twitch was an amazing platform to do this stuff, you know, getting the fans talking to each other as well as, you know, actors, voice actors or whatever, you know, from Adult Swim Con.
Yeah, the shared moments were definitely missing a lot on the official Comic-Con side. So thank you, Amazon, and thank you, Adult Swim, for finding a way to connect everyone. IGN as well. IGN hosted a lot of live chats. Thank you to everybody that joined our live chats and talked with us too, because that helped us a lot too. Like, you know, we've got Lily in there saying she loves Neil Gaiman's work, and like, we've had people talking about Airbender tonight, and in the past nights we geeked out about Peace Stew. Don't forget about Peace Stew, guys.
I forgot. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, totally. And to all of our special guests that like have just popped in, Ross and we had Dr. DJ Sims yesterday, and Natalie, who was in the top 50
was a lot of fun.
Players for the Masquerade, and today we had Kevin Bigley from Amazon's Upload, and Roy Wood Jr., who's on Netflix's Space Force, and like all sorts of fun stuff. And Cliff, my co-host from the OneRing.net, like finally, like that felt like Kristen, you saying you haven't really seen people and checked in during this time. Like I feel like I just saw a whole bunch of friends, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
It was really wonderful. And thank you to each of you guys for being here with me every night. To everybody watching this now in the chat room, and also to those watching this later in the comments, please, if you enjoyed this, would you like to see High Voltage do something like a nerd chat more often? And if so, how often? We're not going to do daily. I'm going to tell you that. Not going to.
I was like, what's she going to do?
Yeah. I was like, maybe build up to a weekly if it was requested. I was like, but we could do twice a month or once a month, maybe easily. And Peter and I even had a really fun idea of like, what if we had a nerd topic? We all came in and we're just like, today we're discussing Josh Gad, pros and cons, you know, and like we just got 4 people of various opinions about Josh Gad and talked about one actor or one movie or whatever it is. So like, if that's something you'd like to see from us, let us know in the chat room or in a comment below. Tweet us at High Voltage Mag. Otherwise, if you want to find me personally, I'm at Uncool Rockstar everywhere on social media. Or if you just want to follow my nerdy Disney adventures, at Sprinkled by Magic on Instagram. And I even produce virtual scavenger hunts. We have a Hocus Pocus hunt coming up on August 23rd. It's something else that you nerds can do at home. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you can win the brand new Hocus Pocus board game. More about that on our Instagram at Sprinkled by Magic. So that's me. Kristen, where can people connect with you, if anywhere?
So I know you always ask this question every year, and in the past years, I've always said, I'm in LA, come find me at the rock shows, but there are no rock shows. So the only thing I can say is that I do a weekly mailer under the name Local Music Nation, where I talk about these days all the streaming shows you can find. So if you're interested in finding where you can see your music still kind of in a live setting, localmusicnation.net, sign up for the mailer and you'll be hearing from me every Sunday.
And it also comes with a great little like couple paragraphs of what Kristen's been doing that week, which is always my favorite part of the listings.
That's how you get to really know me.
Exactly. Peter, where can everybody find you?
All right, so like I said, I've really been enjoying this, and it's giving me ideas for my Twitch stream. I am putting it up right now, twitch.tv/littlechicodude. That's dude spelled DOOD. I'm hoping that pops up on my screen under.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm probably going to try to be doing content like this because I enjoyed it. I hope people enjoyed watching it. I think people enjoyed watching it. So check me out there, and then when I'm not talking about nerdy things, I'll be doing random gaming as well.
Awesome. And Trina, where can the good people find you?
Oh, the usual place, Twitter, Instagram, Dharma69, right there.
Awesome. So, all right. So Uncool Rockstar, Dharma69 for Trina. Twitch, we got little Chico Dude over here, and Kristen, good luck finding her at a boba tea shop where she'll have a mask on and, you know, show them the boba in your background that you added there. Your little, she's got this cute little Boba Fett because she loves boba tea, but it's Boba Fett with boba tea. There you go.
I love that.
Artwork.
Follow the trail of boba and you will find Kristen.
Yes.
All right. Thanks again. Until next year, I hope we're in person then. And if not, we'll be back here. So fingers crossed. See you next year, Comic-Con.
Bye, Comic-Con.